Good morning, everybody. Not too much going on today. I'm just going to be staying around the house, doing some laundry, doing some cleaning. My son Kyle is at school right now. He just started TK 4 days ago, and he's loving it so far. My daughter Sailor, who is 7 months, about to be 8 months on Sunday, is taking a nap right now. She was so hard to get to sleep today. So I'm just going to go ahead and clean up a little bit, and then I'm going to get some stuff prepped and ready for dinner tonight. That way it's marinated, it's ready to go, and I don't have as much to do once my husband and my kids are all playing and having chaotic time, and that way I can spend that time with them. So I'm going to do some pork chops tonight for dinner, and then I'm going to make some rice pilaf. And I'm also going to do some roasted vegetables in the oven. I'm not sure if I'll do them on the barbecue yet. It is supposed to be 106 here today, so it's going to be pretty hot, and I don't really want to turn my oven on. So stay tuned and we'll see what we're making today. Okay, so I'm just finishing cutting up all of my green beans. I know you can snap them. I'm not really into that. It's very tedious. I do like canned green beans. Sometimes every once in a while, the fresh ones, they just taste better. So I'll show you how I'm going to fill like a Ziploc bag full of this and the things that I put in them, and then I'm pretty sure I'll just end up roasting them. Even though it's supposed to be 106, 108 today, we'll just have to deal with it. Thank goodness for air conditioning. Okay, so I got all these finished. Another thing that I try, technical difficulties, bear with me. Okay, so another thing that I have realized is I don't like using a lot of cutting boards for things. So what I will do is I will cut like all of my stuff first that I don't want to get contaminated. Like I'm doing pork, so I'm not going to cut my pork and then rinse it and cut all my vegetables. Like I know you can rinse it off, but I would just rather not do that, and as little dishes that I can do as possible, I try to do. So here is my veggies roasting. I forgot to mention that I also added paprika into this. I put paprika in everything. I love it. Here's the pork chops that I'm gonna use, and then here's some of the seasonings, just steak sauce, which is like A1, urban garlic, and then the teriyaki right there. Last thing that I have to do really to get this dinner going is I'll throw these on the barbecue, I'll throw these on a cookie sheet, and then while these both are cooking, I'll make some pilaf, and then I'll show you guys how I do that later. It's literally the easiest recipe. Come on. Come on. Come on. Do you want to come inside? Do you want to come inside? He destroys the patio. Like, I don't even bother cleaning it half the time because he wants to dump his food out. Hi, baby. What are you doing? This is Boone, everybody. He's an American Bulldog. Hi, Bubbles. Say hi to everybody. Oh, you're a pretty boy. If you guys are thinking about getting a puppy, when you have a baby, he just bit me. I have 2 children teething. My 7-month-old, and then this guy. Are you teething? Oh no, you're not gonna lick all my makeup off. If you're thinking about getting a baby and a puppy, it's really not that bad. Honestly, I thought it was gonna be a whole lot worse. It is kind of difficult sometimes, but he's normally pretty good about he knows that she's the baby, I feel like. We haven't had too many problems with him, and he's a really good dog. He's good with her. And that's the other thing, is we wanted to get a puppy while she was a baby, so that way we weren't getting like an adult dog that was already like trained and not used to being around babies. So for us, we thought it would be a good idea to get a puppy that we could kind of like teach him, like, okay, she's a baby, you need to be gentle with her, because I feel like older dogs, when they're not used to being around kids, it can be a lot for a baby to be like pulling on their ears and their tail. And we did a lot of research, and American Bulldogs are actually one of the best breeds to get with children because they're so kind and nurturing. He just wants me to love on him. Don't you? Say hi. Oh, he's handsome. So that was the reason why we decided to get a puppy while we had a baby. That way, oh, that's what I was saying. So the breeders actually said that it's a good thing for them to get used to like us going like this. I'm not hurting him, I promise. I'm just gently tugging on it. And pulling on his tail. That way, once he's older, he's used to it and he doesn't like completely snap on her. So he hasn't gotten aggressive with her at all. He just wants to play with her. Who is so beautiful? Are you pretty? Are you a pretty girl? Hi. Hi. This is Sailor. Say hello. Say hi.
3, 2, 9. Zero. It's the frog.
You want some lunch before we go pick up brother? Do you want some lunch? Hi, pretty girl. From school. Hi, buddy. What'd you make?
Yeah?
Those are pretty. How was your day? Hi.
How are you doing, Mommy?
I'm good. How was your day?
That's good.
What'd you do today?
I just had fun.
You did? What'd you do in your classroom? So at this point in the day, I decided to make myself a latte. I was just checking to make sure that there was water in there, which there was. And then I proceeded to add half milk and half vanilla coffee creamer to my frother. And I got that all ready to get going. I made sure that everything was turned on correctly. And right here, you'll see me frothing the milk. I swirl it around so that it gets nice and foamy. And then I did my shot of espresso and stirred it all up. Now our nice latte that we just made, we're gonna let it get cold because the baby is sad. We can't let you cry. That's not fair. So I probably won't get to drink that hot, but it's okay. Because I got these snuggles right here. She sees her brother bringing her bottle. What a good brother.
Hey.
Thank you. Ooh, am I gonna get cuddles with both of you? Thank you.
Hi, guys.
Say, my name's Kyle.
My name's Kyle.
How old are you, Kyle?
I'm 4.
Really? What kind of school do you go to?
TK?
TK. What's TK?
It's like a kindergarten.
It's like for kindergarten, but his birthday didn't make the cutoff. So his birthday's October 3rd, and the cutoff to start kindergarten was September 1st. So he's in like an extra year before kindergarten. Oh, so nice.
I actually wouldn't hear you.
Are you happy, baby, now? You're not so grumpy anymore?
Hi guys, this is Sissy and me, and this is my And would you like
He
that?
has loved YouTube, and he said that he wanted to start a channel of his own, so that's why he's talking like that. Do you want your own YouTube channel, bub?
Yeah.
Sailor had gone to sleep for her second nap of the day, so I decided it was a good time to get some laundry done. I started sorting out the kids' clothing and putting it into piles of how I organize it when I put it away. Kyle was sitting with me for a little bit, and we were just talking about his day, having some mommy and son time, which was nice. Here you see me hanging up all of Sailor's clothes. I normally put all of her pajamas in one section in her closet, and then all of her dress-up, like outfit clothes, in another portion of her closet. I started making my dinner, and I started with preheating my oven to about 350, 375. I was spreading the green beans apart that we had prepared earlier and putting them on a cookie sheet, making sure they weren't overlapping each other, and just making sure that everything was even. I'm not gonna lie, you guys, these didn't turn out as I planned. The mushrooms were really good, but for some reason the green beans just had like a waxy texture. Can't have a win all the time. My husband said that everything else tasted good, and I agreed, but the green beans just weren't as good. I'm starting on my rice. I do 1 cup of rice and 2 cups of water. So I'm getting everything ready here, and I am going to add maybe 3 tablespoons of butter. Honestly, you guys, I just eyeball it every time. I don't have like an exact recipe. The only thing that I use exact is the rice. So I already added my butter, and I added 1 cup of rice, and I just stir everything around and get it all toasted. I add a splash of garlic powder, not garlic salt, only garlic powder, and then I add the chicken bouillon. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I've noticed that when I add that first and let it cook, it does a lot better than adding it to the hot water. So I just stir that around, let everything get toasted real nice, and let those flavors kind of come together before I'm adding the water. I found that that works better than adding the bouillon to the water. So once everything got to a point where I thought it was toasted, and I kind of just go off the color, I added 2 cups of hot water. I always had hot water so that it doesn't take as long to get hot for the water, and then I'm just stirring and blending everything together. And then you want it kind of at like a simmery boil. You don't want it boiling completely yet when you put the lid on, just exactly how it looks in the video. And then I put the lid on, and I set it on like a low heat for about 15 to 16 minutes, and I don't open the lid at all. So I had already preheated my barbecue before I even started my rice or my green beans. That way it could get nice and hot. And the very first thing that I did was set my meat out onto the counter so that it could come to room temperature a little bit. When you're cooking and barbecuing meat, you don't necessarily want to put meat straight out of the fridge onto the barbecue. I'm not sure exactly why it's recommended to do this, but I followed this. This is something that my dad taught me as well, and I found that it helps with barbecuing. I had Jordan help me while I was getting the drinks and plates and silverware and checking on the kids. So we only flipped this meat 1 time, and these pork chops are super thin, so they don't take very long to cook at all. They were probably on the barbecue maybe like 5 to 7 minutes, and they came out perfect. I didn't add any more seasoning as well. Everything was finished, so I decided to get everybody's plates ready for them to be eating. Jordan doesn't make his own plate just because I make it for him, and he kind of helps the kids like wash their hands. Sometimes we'll take Sailor's clothes off of her if she's like in a nice outfit and we don't want her to ruin it. She just rips her bibs off, so we don't even bother with that anymore, honestly. And this is how everything looked when it was all done. One thing that's important to us as a family is that we sit down and have dinner together. Sometimes it is very chaotic. Kyle likes to ask 10 million questions while we're eating our dinner. And you can see here that he completely refused to eat his dinner. I think he had about 3 bites of that. Hi everybody, I just wanted to come on here and say from the bottom of my heart, I am so appreciative of you guys watching today's video. This has been a dream of mine for a really long time, and it just means so much to me that you would take time out of your day to watch my video. And I put a lot of heart and passion into this, and I would really appreciate if you guys could click subscribe. It helps me out a lot and lets me know that you guys are enjoying the content that I'm posting. And if you guys have any ideas for videos, go ahead and drop them in the comments, and make sure that you turn on your post notifications so every time I post a video you guys get to see it. Thank you. Have a good day.